Previously on Raider Power, Texas Tech football.
But we have got to continue to improve every day. That's why we coach, and it's to see guys that come into your program when they're 17, 18 years old and then see what they're like when they leave when they're 22 or 23 years old. Live for the moment when you get to go make a difference. Don't try to find a way out of stuff. What you set for them and the example and how they see you on and off the football field, and those things are they're going to form them, and they're such an impressionable age. Have fun playing this game, because this is who we are, it's what we do, and it's how we live. And take pride in that. Let's go.
All right, a lot of good things today, a lot of things we got to work on. We're going to be good. We're going to be good.
You finish in the top 15, you're pretty good. And we're pretty good right now. The question is, how do we get to great? I think that's really difficult to go from good to great. It's easier to go from average to good or poor to average. But when you talk about good to great, I think it's an everyday decision.
We got to make the decision we're going to be great. Okay, that's the thing we got to do. We got to make that decision.
Sure. If this group wants to take this to another level, if they want to be great, it's got to be every day. It can't be on the roller coaster like we were last year.
We got a chance to have a pretty good team, but we got to start picking it up a notch. Big time pick it up a notch.
There's not going to be gigantic leaps in the positive side of what you do. Learning fundamental techniques, learning a new offensive stance, play, throwing the ball down the field, catching the ball. You're going to have good and you're going to have bad days. What you want to do is every day take a step forward in terms of how you learn those technique and fundamentals. You might not do them great every day, but you might learn a little bit more about one of the small details that's going to make you better in the long run. So we teach little things, and we want every player to get a little bit better every day in the little things.
Accountability. Discipline.
Let's get started, guys. Got a lot of work to do. This is an important meeting, every one of you in here. Whether you're a senior, whether you already got your degree, or just now starting, all you freshman guys. We start Thursday, but we got a lot of work to do. The main thing about academics is getting off to a good start and listening.
There's a lot of different areas for success in a college football program. You have your weight room, your training room, your compliance office. But one in particular is our academic support group. And we have a great group. They're dedicated to what they do. What we try to do is we try to bring our players in, introduce them to them early, make sure they're comfortable with them, because they're just like coaches. And they spend just as much time with our players as we do as coaches. So it's important not just to have a group of academic support staff, but it's very important to have a dedicated group, which we do.
They do a great job. Anytime you need help, they're there to help you, whether it be a tutor or anything. As a student athlete here at Tech, you get all the resources you need to actually get it done.
Getting in there with those tutors, and also just going over there, being able to use those computers and all that kind of stuff that they have available for us. I mean, it definitely helps.
When you go to college and play football, that's great. But the number one thing is to get your college degree.
Alexander Joshua Torres.
Have my family here when I walked and everything. It was good for me. It was a good accomplishment, and I'm glad I got that out of the way with. And now working graduate school, which I'm excited to leave here with a master's degree.
I'm kind of excited to see if I can get my master's before I get out of here.
What we like is guys to finish early and still have eligibility in football left, because it shows good leadership. It shows a good example to the younger kids that are coming into your program, and so we're excited about anybody that gets their degree.
Aaron Cordell Israel Crawford.
My biggest goal was to go to college, to get a degree, to graduate, to succeed in all areas of my life. Basically, my mom was the biggest pusher behind me, and my family. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have been at the place that I am. Just the drive and to have support and stability in my life, you know. And the biggest thing I want to emphasize is that people, you can do it. Wherever, it doesn't matter who you are, you can do it.
We are very, very good at this play to the left, and just we're slightly above average at it to the right. Can anybody give me a reason why on that? You can't treat quarterbacks like every other player just because it's so much more of a thinking game at quarterback. And I think it's important that the quarterback's an extension of myself out on the field. Like I said, our numbers aren't bad on it. I mean, they're phenomenal to the left, just slightly above average to the right. I think everybody learns in a different manner. And one way that I can check to make sure they're paying attention is to look at their notes. And one thing that I have them do is I have them write down every mistake, every correction that we make during a practice. They write them down, and then they can go home and they can study those, and make sure that they're not repeating those same mistakes over and over. Why there's such a distinct difference? In 2x2, we are 57% on 8 right and 90% on 8 left. Every kid learns differently. So, and within a 30 or 45-minute meeting, we've got to get several things accomplished. And I think you got to use different avenues to get those points across. Does everybody feel good about the pre-snap read? We have pre-snap plays, okay, where he's looking, left to right, looking for certain keys, whether it's a certain coverage, whether it's best matchup. And he's making a determination pre-snap, hey, I'm going to this side. And maybe it's I'm going here to here, A to B. And remember, we're straight progression on that, right? 1, 2, 3. Does everybody got that? And then we have what's called progression reads that are basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it doesn't necessarily matter what the defense is doing pre-snap. They're going to go through those progressions every time. So what we're going to do is some video we'll watch. Will be some of Rice, okay? It'll be some of Texas State from last year, just show you an idea of personnel a little bit.
He's very attention to detail, and I feel like I'm such a better quarterback, pre-snap and knowing kind of what to do with the ball beforehand, just because of how much knowledge he brings to the game and how much the way he coaches.
Just basic coverage stuff, okay? That we need to kind of understand, and we'll talk in 2x2 terms first here, okay? I think it's important on the mental aspect. And we spend a lot of time in the classroom. We use every bit of time that the NCAA allow us during the off season. We use a lot of different training, computer, video, all those type of different methods to teach, what they should be thinking about pre-snap. Or maybe this guy's showing blitz. He's bouncing back and forth, correct? The second thing is just the fundamentals of it. I think it's training muscle memory. We do a ton of feet work. My emphasis coaching those guys, fundamentals, is really the lower body.
That's the same thing I got on you about earlier. Now go again. Hey, look, remember, don't just do this, all right, because you look like Larry Bird don't mean you got to shoot like Larry Bird, you understand? All right, look, get up here. Get up high, you hear me? There you go.
Making sure their weight's balanced, make sure they keep their, a good stance, a good width in their stance, making sure they have a good rhythm, in the pocket, make sure they're moving up and, moving in the pocket, and not creating sacks and those type of things.
Go. Good, again.
We try to recreate those, those types of situations, whether it's a scramble, or they get outside pressure, or they get inside pressure. We try to recreate those types of situations in practice, but it's difficult, and we try to recreate it in drill work, but it's difficult.
Right, when I clap, feet high, ready to throw it. He's coming open, okay? He's coming open.
Those are the type of things that we try to simulate in practice, work, repetition over and over and over again, and then trying to make it where it's second nature if it happens in a game.
As soon as you hear me clap, boom, get it out. Go, start again.
I like the one-on-one teaching aspect of it, and kind of watching kids, watching a Michael Brewer develop from the spring to now.
He was down here about 6. He came down here like as the ball was snapped. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's a straight progression. Once you choose, everything was good. You were here, your eyes were away, right, and then you got to go 1 to 2.
And then kind of seeing into the future where he can be, and just the daily improvement process is what I enjoy probably the most.
That's that's Ollie. That's the backup point guard for the Hoosiers. Backup point guard for the Hoosiers. Ollie, one time, let's see it. Let's see it, come on.
Right here, Ollie, right here. Make it in.
Hey!
Now the other thing out of 20 personnel, and it's one of the hardest things that we have off of any play action stuff, Pete, and it happened to you the other day and it happened to Terrence too. Coaching is teaching, and coaching is a lot of things. And when we go take a test on Saturday, we want everybody to make 100 on that test. It's not a bell curve where if half the people make a 50 and half of them make a 70 and the rest of the class makes an A. We want all of our guys to make A's, and we've got to find a way to go teach them. Y'all really have done a good job of seeing things. I thought video test went pretty well the other night with the exception of Junior. And I haven't killed him yet, but we're still thinking about it, Junior. And every kid's different. You got to find out how they learn best and tweak what you do to them where they can be successful. We've got to really understand formations because they will tell us so much about what's happening with everything. Okay, why a guy lines up in a particular place. If we can hone in what an offense is doing down to 4 or 5 plays by formation and those things, it's going to give us a chance to, again, to anticipate what's happening and go be successful. And strong safety's really got to do a good job of looking that guy up like you did Sunday with it. Okay, when we see an offense, how they come out and what they do or what they have done, will give us a chance to really narrow down what plays we've got to go defend with it. And we try coaching our kids throughout the whole week of really honing in on what an offense does. And because really good offenses are going to do what they do with things. And they think they're going to be better running their offense than you can be stopping it. All right, from practice on Sunday here real quick, a few things we need to get taken care of. It's our goal to get our kids ready each week on Saturday to go and stop the offense. And John Goodner used to say it all the time. He used to say, boy, make them beat you left-handed, meaning don't let an offense do what they've done for 9 other weeks to be successful. Stop what they do best, and that's what we want to try to be able to go do as a defense. You see what I'm talking about, though, don't you, Junior? Yes, sir. Again, what kind of routes do we get here? Okay? A formation is giving you a lot of clues. Anticipate, and let's go play the plays that we've got to stop with it. Trust that that guy next to you is going to do his job and go hunt together. Well, we talk to our kids all the time about the most important ability they have is accountability. They've got to be accountable on the football field, off the football field, and they're a part of the team. And whenever 11 guys step on that football field, we want everybody to do their 1/11th. And if we'll all go do our 1/11th, we'll be successful as a defense. He's going to come to the flat with everything. And again, don't be that rat. Okay, play it deep to short. We talk all the time about if there's a guy in front of me, there's a guy behind me. And all that guy in front of me is that piece of cheese in the mousetrap. And if I go eat that piece of cheese, what happens to that mouse? He gets his neck broke in the mousetrap. And we don't ever want to go eat that piece of cheese on the football field. This is better, though, but the football's up in the air. We need to go pick that thing. We want to take away the deeper things and then force offenses to throw the ball underneath where we all can break on it. Because then we'll be sound with all of it. Well, one of the funnest parts of our job is never the same on a day-to-day basis. We get to go and we try to be innovative with things that we do. Then you get to go try to teach kids and install the thoughts that you've had. And ultimately, it's going to come down to how smart the kids are. It doesn't matter what you as a coach know. It matters what your kids know and can go out and can communicate and go play fast. But again, trust what you see. And react fast to what I see. Because if we'll do that, okay, the game's going to become a lot simpler because we're going to know exactly what few plays we've got to go defend with all of it. All right, here we go. Again, Pete, what do I need to do? Yeah, get myself to the line outside of that whole deal. What we want to do is we want to coach our kids where they think like we think as coaches, and we want them to be on the same page that we are coaching-wise. And if we get to that point, then we've got a chance. All right, that's that. It's fun to see how kids go and approach things when you give them handouts and things like that they'll go study and spend the time doing when you hear them walking across campus or walking down the halls and they're talking about those things. Do y'all have any questions over your handouts or anything? Do they help y'all? Does that make sense with everything? And it's our job to increase their knowledge level every day and put them in a situation where they think faster, they think more like us, and we're all on the same page. Again, how can we go and tweak things on a week-to-week basis but stay within our base concepts that we've taught since day one? Okay? Anybody got any questions about anything else? All right. Y'all good with this?
Here we go, running backs, blocking groups, right here on the line, blocking groups, get in blocking groups.
When you talk about Chad Scott and his coaching, I think he's a detail-oriented guy. You know, whether it's recruiting, whether it's running backs on the field, he's detail-oriented. And if you give him a task, it's going to get completed, and he's very conscientious.
Remember, pass pro techniques, feet slide outside framework of your body. Got it on the balls of your feet, eyes in this breastplate, run your feet to contact, shoot your hands. Got it?
Pass pro is huge, and that's the first thing I tell guys when they come here to play for me, even when I'm recruiting throughout the process. The most important part of being a running back, you know, when everything is equal, talent is the same, talent level is the same, pass pro is what's going to separate you from the next guy.
You don't want to punch this guy. You know, like this. The palms up. I mean, it's this. Got it? All right, here we go. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
He demands perfection. We work on blitz pro every day, and if you can't get it with Coach Scott, it's going to be hard for you to get it with anybody.
Do it again. Remember, we don't want to hit this guy like this. You want to be in that position. Run him. Hit. Good.
They're as prepared as anybody else in college football, probably more so, just because the emphasis we put on pass protection. I think Baron Batch is a great example. I think one of the major reasons that he got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers was his ability to protect the passer.
Under control, run him. Hit. Good. Run him. Hit. Good.
The most important part of the pass for, first of all, is just the identification of the front, so you know who to recognize, leading me to my second point being recognition. And then obviously the third point being execution.
When you get ready to punch, you raise up. Got it? Run them. Hit. Good.
Extremely important that they understand the details of it. In high school, you know, a lot of your better running backs don't do it a lot because they're running the ball all the time. So they don't necessarily understand the importance of doing it.
Come down, come down, come down. Come harder, come harder.
As far as techniques, Coach Scott knows the whole game in and out. He's played at North Carolina and Kentucky, and even on the pro level, he teaches us all our techniques and everything we need to be successful on the field and even beyond that.
All right, let's have a good day today. Now, so our last work day, now it's this game week. So let's make sure we're doing everything, make sure we're finishing, make plays, work against those safeties. Now, see the blitz. Hey, make y'all protection calls. Don't use that signal. Use protection call. Here we go. Y'all know what it is. 1, 2, 3. Big league backs.
We break it out every day on big league backs. The fact that he played the position and played in the NFL for a couple of years, I would say he's one of the best coaches, if not the best coach I ever had. He's definitely up there with some of the top coaches I've ever come across. He took my game to a whole nother level, and he's going to be a great coach for these younger backs that's coming in.
Being versatile enough to line guys out wide and just make use of all their skill set. So particularly in our offense, guys got to have the ability to run effectively and catch the ball out of the backfield.
One of them is Baron Batch. He makes the catch. He's got a block. He dives forward to the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Well, Baron Batch was in the formation on the right side where the trips, the three receivers were all up close to the line.
Basically, you have to be able to do everything. I mean, we have to be multidimensional. We have to be versatile because 1 minute we won't be able to pass, we're going to have to run. 1 minute we may have trouble running, we're going to have to pass. So it's important to keep teams off balance.
Got to be able to do all three. Pass pro first, got to be able to choke the rock. And particularly like in our offense, we're looking for the guys that can turn a 5-yard run into a big game. That's what it's going to take for us.
Off straight up the middle. He goes, breaks a tackle to the 20, 25. Watch out, he may go. The 40, 45 midfield. Being chased, they're not going to catch him.
When you come and play in this offense, like I said, you got to be able to do it all. And if you have any aspirations of going to the next league, they look at things like that. Coach Scott makes that very clear to us. So he pretty much makes us be a factor on every play. He'll point it out when you're loafing, or he'll make you. He pull the best out of players, and I think he's doing the same for me and other guys.
The running backs, when they lead this offense, they won't be considered to be a spread running back. We're going to do some of the same things that, pro-style offense should do. Once they go to the next level, they're able to translate that from college level to the NFL level. A running back in this offense will be as successful not only here but also on the next level.